Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news on a match day. Remember, we do have a watch along for you this afternoon. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff, QPR Manchester United. Looking forward to that, but let's get into the latest Manchester United transfer news because we are in the midst of a transfer window. In fact, we're probably more than halfway through this transfer window when you think about it now. July the 24th, it closes on August the 31st. We will be technically over halfway through. And what do we have to show for it? Nobody's left. Sancho's finally here. And Tom Heaton. So, I still think we're in that balance of, I think we're heading towards a good transfer window. I don't think it's going to be a great one. I think it will be a good one. On the other hand, there are people there saying, look, what has actually happened? Sancho was last year's signing where the club treated us like a business and said, let's not pay for him last year. Let's wait and save some money. Business before football. I suppose that's a valid point, but I still think there are things to happen. We're going to talk about Varane. We're going to talk about a Pogba PSG transfer warning. Certain PSG fans, they don't want him, man. They don't want him. Banners and everything. We'll talk about that. Also, a little bit about Delot and Sancho and a few other bits as well as we bring you the latest Manchester United transfer news this morning. Can I just give a shout out to myself as well? Don't normally do this. I've dropped a link in the video description. I put up a video yesterday called Goldbridge Reacts to Strange Addictions. I know I mentioned it on the yesterday afternoon show, but I've actually dropped the link in the video description. If after this you just want to give it a watch, I'm not going to say anything amazing about it. Just give it a watch. I think you'll quite like it on a channel that's not football related. Give it a watch. Some of you will have done, but links in the video description for that. Right, let's start off with Varane. He's back in training with Real Madrid again this morning. Pictures of him kicking a ball about with Kroos and Modric and Marcelo, amongst others. So he is training with Real Madrid full style now. What Spanish reports are saying, I've not looked at any English reports, I've looked at Spanish reports this morning. They are intense around Real Madrid, and that's where you can find your information. You've just got to know who's reliable and who isn't. What they're saying is that Varane doesn't really... Well, one Spanish outlet is saying that Varane doesn't really want to be there. He'd like to be at Manchester United. He wants to get it sorted, but Manchester United are in no hurry. That worries me a little bit. I hinted at this yesterday. United, there is a rumour, well, I was told by a source close to United that United's board have this new angle that they're very confident about, having worked on Jadon Sancho, where patience is a virtue. So they actually think that the way they did the Sancho deal is the blueprint on how to do transfers. So they're not going to be rushed. They'll take as long as it takes, and in the end they'll get what they want. And if they don't get it for what they want, they don't get it. Well, we've seen this before. Unfortunately, this is not a new United transfer tactic. We've seen it with Perisic. We saw it with Perisic, was it 4 years ago? Inter Milan wanted 45 million. We wouldn't go above 40, and we didn't get the player that Mourinho really wanted. So I'm still 90% sure we'll get Varane. I mean, I'm only giving you this because it's the news and I'm not plunging the mood here at all. For me, I think we will get Varane, but I do want to say that when we get Varane, I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be in 3 weeks' time, I don't know. But what I was told yesterday is that United have this transfer policy that they think they've been proved right on. They actually think that what they've done on Sancho is brilliant. Get him a year later for cheaper, they think it's brilliant. They think that that's absolutely superb, but they're bankers. They're not football people, so they're looking at it from the bottom line and they're going, look, we've saved some money, Mr. Glazer. Well, would we have been better with Sancho last year? Yes, we would. Do I care that we've saved 30 million? Not really. I'd rather have had Sancho last year. So I don't know how long this Varane deal is going to happen, but it looks like Manchester United are holding the deal up. In fact, let's be honest, we are holding the deal up. This is because United want to pay 40 million and Real Madrid want 50 million. So there is a 10 million gap there. Now, the obvious thing is to pay 45, but it's whether United want to pay 45. They might just say we're only going to pay 40. So there is a hold up, and I don't necessarily... I mean, look, these things can be broken through quite quickly. Romano said at the start of the week that United are preparing an official bid, but they won't put an official bid in until we've actually, we know it's going to get accepted. So, and all this smokescreen about personal terms, don't believe that bullshit. We're not negotiating with Varane for personal terms. We're negotiating with Madrid for the fee. That's the hold-up at the moment. Any truth in the rumours we're still in for Wesley Sneijder? All the best from Dublin, says Team of Our Lives podcast. Well, I think he's retired, mate, but I do get the joke. There's a couple of other Spanish reports I need to bring you as well. Another Spanish report is saying that, look, Varane's going to end up at Manchester United. So there's still a lot of confidence that that's going to happen. And then I think it's, I can't never pronounce it, Diariaro AS. They're saying that Varane does want to sit down and have a chat with Ancelotti and hopes that Ancelotti can persuade Real Madrid to, get him the contract that he wants. They can't do that. They can't do, well, they can do that, but they can't do that, Real Madrid, because it's the difference in money is huge. If Real Madrid are offering him 7 million a year, we're offering 12. So that means Real Madrid have got to basically double their offer for Varane, and they're trying to find money to get people like Mbappe and have a rebuild. So I don't think Real Madrid are actually that bothered, in the sense that I don't think they're going to massively boost their transfer offer for Varane. I think that they would like to keep him, but on the terms that they've offered, they're not going to double his wages. So, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think he will end up being Manchester United. I mean, Danish says, I'm really worried now. I wouldn't be worried. I mean, look, what I would say is, I'm only going to bring you the news on the news show, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. What is my opinion on Varane? And I'm sure some people will be worried, and I'm sure some people will be a little bit like me, and I'm sure some people will be in between. I'm still 90% will get this deal done, but I'm not, although it's very disappointing because it sucks the life out of every deal. I mean, what makes me laugh about Man United is, as soon as Sancho gets announced yesterday, all the bloody social media managers and everyone are like acting like Billy Big Bollocks. And the reality is, you're not actually that good at transfers. Stop trying to get down with the kids. You're not. You're not very good at transfers. We've not been very good at transfers for a very long time. What we have a history of doing is the people like Matt Judge. They're there to save money for the Glazers. They're not there to please us, the fans. They're there to make money for the Glazers. That's the job. I don't think Matt Judge goes to bed at night thinking, I want to be popular with United fans. He wants to be popular with the Glazers because they pay his wages, which I can sort of understand in a way. It's his job. His job is to get a good deal. If he goes to the Glazers and says, can I have 50 million, please? I've got the Varane done deal really quickly. Well, you could have got it done for 45 and took another 6 weeks. You're sacked. And that's the mentality that you have to get used to. It's frustrating, but when do United ever do a quick deal? Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, Sancho, there's many others, Pogba. We take ages on deals. And, I mean, I don't know whether we're going to take ages on Varane. I really don't. But we do take ages on deals. And so that's why I'm still confident we'll get the deal done. But I don't like Varane being in pre-season training with Madrid, and I don't like the fact that he might start playing pre-season games and start getting used to Ancelotti, who's a new coach. I think United have made a big mistake there, but look, I still think we'll get him. Will Sancho play in one of our pre-season matches, says Harry Ken? He might play in the last one. Love the Sancho signing, but James, Diallo, Palestri, Cavani, Greenwood, Martial, Alanga, Lingard and Mata, why too many? Sales are massive this summer, says Ramnish. Well, I wouldn't hold your breath on sales, mate. I think we are absolutely terrible at selling players, and the only two players we can sell easily out of those lot is Dan James and Jesse Lingard, and I don't think Ollie will get rid of either of them. Hi Mark, just want to show some support. Keep it up, says Aubrey. Thank you very much for the super chats that are coming in and the support. Really appreciate that. If you want to become a member and have a little badge next to your name, then you can do that by clicking the join button. I don't know whether we've got many members in the show this morning. Probably all in bed having a lie-in. Probably been partying. But oh no, we have got one. I've just seen one there. Apep, thank you very much. He says, if this getting dragged until the end of the transfer window and getting nowhere, disgusting. Well, look, that just before we talk about this Pogba news, and I need to get the banner so I can read it out. If we have the mentality that Manchester United are going to wait as long as it takes to get Varane cheap. Now, this is something I do want to say. Don't think this will happen, but there'll be some of you that think it could happen. Of course, it's a possibility until it doesn't happen. What if United are going to wait until the end of August to pressure Real Madrid to bring the price down? Real Madrid know after August the 31st they get no money for Varane. He's gone for free. So if United go, and look, I didn't want to really mention this, but you've got to be honest. Real Madrid want 50 million now. United want to pay 40 million. Well, what's going to happen? We want 50. We're only going to pay 40. Okay. Let's speak again at the end of August. Fine, we're not going to change our mind. End of August, Real Madrid go, yeah, we're not going to get anything else. We better take the 40 million now. And I wonder whether that is the tactic of United. In fact, I probably guarantee it is the tactic of United. So what you're waiting for is, are Real Madrid just going to go sod it, let's take the money now, because we're not going to get anything better? Or are they both going to play hardball and wait till the end of August? Now, the risk with that is that somebody else could get involved in the race, at Chelsea or someone like that. The risk with that is that Varane could get settled at Real Madrid and say, I'm going to stay for another year and I'll sort it out in a year's time. And the risk with that is that, Real Madrid say, screw you, I'd rather lose him for nothing than let you have him on the cheap. And the risk for United is that Varane is such an important signing for Solskjaer that let's bring him in after the international break when we've played 3 games with Lindelof. So that's the thing, isn't it? It always comes down to money, but what's better for the fans, what's better for the team, and what's better for Solskjaer? To have Varane in right now. And we already saw at the start of last season, we lost to Palace, we nearly lost to Brighton, and we lost to Spurs. We took 3 points from 9. There's 3 games before the end of August. If we wait till the end of August to get Varane to save 5 million, but we drop 5 points, well, that 5 million's irrelevant, isn't it? So I just think this is the problem sometimes. We've got businessmen running a football club, and they're, as I said, they're over the moon with the Sancho deal because they got him for 30 million cheaper than they would have done last year. But I think any football fan would say, you know what you can do with your 30 million? Shove it up your arse. You've had 100 million in dividends, you greedy gets. I'd rather have had Sancho at United last season. Would we have finished any better than second? No, probably not. But we would have played better football. I wish we'd had Sancho a year. I couldn't give 2 shits about saving 30 million. We're a football club, not a business. Hi, Mark. It's my brother Rafi's birthday today. Could you call him a prat? Thank you, Mark. Love the show, says Saul Freeman. Happy birthday to Rafi. And you're a prat, apparently. Keep up the great content, Mark, says Canna Dave. And De Gea, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Luke, Neves, Benaka, Bruno, Dani, Sancho, Cavani, Martial. Let Pogba go for the sake and buy hit. CDM, says Gareth. Okay. Just a very quick one as well. I don't want to talk about Paul McShane, but I did put a tweet out this morning and it seemed to get universally panned because I said that wish him all the best. But again, it's another ex-player coming in with no experience. Wow, he's only managing. He's only a coach for the under-23s. He's got a UEFA A licence. I still stand by what I said. I hope he does really well, but I think it's another jobs for the boys. Bring in somebody who's played for the club before. I think with Ramsey, I was impressed with him, Eric Ramsey, because he's not an ex-United player and he's got a good pedigree. If you're happy with that, and I hope it works out really well, I personally, I'm not going to change my opinion. It's all about opinion. I don't know why people get so moody about it. I think United appoint a lot of in-house appointments, whether it's on the board, whether it's chief executives, whether it's coaches. There seems to be this fear of bringing in outsiders that might know more than what we've got. Everybody's an ex-player. Everybody knows Ollie. Everybody knows Woodward. It's like there's a fear of bringing in specialists who don't know the United way. Well, what is the United way? Where is the United way? We haven't had the United way for over a decade. So I stand by what I say on that. It's all about opinion. And if you have a different opinion, well done. Welcome to the world. So let's talk about Paul Pogba. This is quite interesting. Pogba transfer warning. So Pogba's transfer warning is this. There's a banner out in Paris today. I don't know where it is. I don't know whether it's... there seems to be a couple of these banners anyway. But it's from PSG fans. The message to Pogba. And it says, Pogba, you should listen to your mother. She doesn't want you here. Neither do we. Now, of course, what I would say about this is minority reports. It's Tom Cruise time. Because that could be... It's like the artwork that was done of Rashford and the abuse that was put on that. It's like, the racism that we get against United and English players over the last few months. Is that majority? No, it's the minority, but it's a loud minority. And sometimes these minority voices can infect the wider picture. That could just be, that might not even be a PSG fan. That could be somebody causing trouble, but it's a banner and it's picked up by the media. So it's a bit of a warning for Paul Pogba about going to I don't know. I don't know what the history is between Pogba and France. I mean, he's won him a bloody World Cup, but I wouldn't give a shit about the banner if I was Paul Pogba. Oh, a few PSG fans don't want you. There's probably United fans who'd write a lot worse about Pogba. Let's be honest, we all know Pogba's a divisive figure. There's a lot of United fans who'd love to see the back of Paul Pogba. And they might be being quiet about it now, they might be being vocal about it. But there's a lot of United fans, there's probably more United fans who want to see the back of Paul Pogba than there are PSG fans who don't want to see Paul Pogba in a PSG shirt. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But it does go back to what I've said before, that I believe that PSG are a bad option for Paul Pogba. As I said last night, he's 28. He's in his prime. It's a big contract, and you're going to go to Paris and play in a league that really isn't competitive. I know they didn't win it last year, PSG, but it's not a competitive league. It's not an attractive league. No one gives a shit about the French league. Like, PSG can buy all the good players they want. They can have Neymar, Pogba, Mbappe, Ramos, everybody they want, but only people will be interested in PSGs when they're playing in the Champions League. And that's a handful of games a season, really. Well, 2 handfuls. So I don't think it's the right move for Pogba. And as I said, why would you sign that deal? I mean, I saw ESPN saying last night, I think it was Mark Ogden saying that United would sell him for 50 million. But if I'm Paul Pogba and I'm Mino Raiola, I'm like, that 50 million quid that's going from PSG to Manchester United, that could be our 50 million quid in less than a year. And what I mean by that is, if United get 50 million for Pogba and then PSG give Pogba, 350k a week? That's 50 million to United, 350k a week to Pogba, a bit of a signing on fee and a bit of agent fees, right? In a year's time, that 50 million doesn't go to Manchester United. That 50 million isn't there anymore. Nothing goes to United because he's free. But Paul Pogba goes, well, that 50 million a year ago, right, I want another 10 million on a signing on fee. I want another 15 million on the wages, so I want £500,000 a week. And Mino wants another 10. That's still way less than the 50 you were going to pay a year ago. And this is what I don't understand, why Paul Pogba would go to PSG when in a year's time he could be having that conversation with Juventus. He could be having that conversation with Man City. He could be having that conversation with Real Madrid. I just don't think Pogba will go, but we'll see. Hey Mark, please just say my mate's name. Dapo says Aloeli. And hi Mark, it's my mate's birthday today. His name's Alex. Can you call him a Pratt, please? Says Kickback Games. Happy birthday to Alex. You're a Pratt. And Gorif says, Mark, would you prefer to sell Pogba and replace with Donny? Prefer to have 7 out of 10 every day instead of 9 out of 10 once or twice. Buy Benanka as a CDM. Says Goraf. I've been very consistent here, and I might not be right. I might not be right on this, but I don't think Paul Pogba's going to leave. I really don't. And as Jamie says, if Pogba goes, McTominay will probably get the number 6. You know what? Number 39 isn't really a number, is it? I mean, that probably will happen, said Jamie, and the reaction to it will be this. There'll be people outraged, and then there will be people who say, I'm not, it's not that, go on, McMayo, he's our number 6, at least he loves the club, which is what I talked about yesterday. Do you want Paul Pogba wearing the number 6 for Manchester United, one of the best talented midfielders in the world, or do you want Scott McTominay wearing the number 6, who loves the club? And as I said yesterday, loving the club shouldn't be a trait. It should be a standard. It's like energy. Running around a lot and loving the club should not be something that we champion as fans. It should be expected. I remember in the team of the early 90s that had Keane and Ince and Cantona and Hughes and Bruce and Pallister and Irwin and Paul Parker and Ryan Giggs and Lee Sharp and Kanchelskis and Schmeichel and all these players. And every player I've listed off there ran around a lot and loved the club. But on top of that, they could actually play a bit of ball. At the moment, United have sort of become this team that's got these players that run around a lot and love the club that aren't actually that good. And then we've got these players that don't run around as much but are really talented, so they're inconsistent. What you want is that team of the early 90s and the late 90s where they run around a lot, they love the club, and they're good. That's what you need. There's a bit of breaking news coming in here from... I don't know why this is being... all right, let me have a quick look. I think it's Fabrizio Romano. Okay. Romano has just retweeted something. A new contract for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United will be discussed in the coming weeks. Well, that's from July the 12th, and Fabrizio Romano has just retweeted that. This is no news, really. I very rarely say this, but I think you've always got to be devil's advocate. I don't think Fabrizio's hitting on anything here. And I actually think the context of that tweet is wrong. So a new contract for Solskjaer at Man United will be discussed in the coming weeks. What I can tell you about the contract with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that the contract is sorted. It's already done. It was going to get announced after we'd won the Europa League. We didn't win the Europa League, and United knew that if they announced the Solskjaer contract after losing the Europa League final with no signings coming in, it wouldn't be received as well as it will be if they do it at a positive time. So what United want, the Solskjaer deal is sorted. There is no negotiations. It's been sorted for a very long time. It's probably been sorted since late April. It's about timing. The contract is ready. Solskjaer knows the contract. I mean, whether it's signed or not, it might even be signed. I don't know. But it's definitely agreed. They're just waiting for the time to announce it. It will be before the first game of the season against Leeds, because if he loses that game and they give him a new contract, it'll be too late. But, it will be in the next 2-3 weeks. Any time. Because they've got to announce it before the new season in case we have a bad start, but they didn't want to announce it at the start of the end of last season because of the Europa League. So it's all about the timing. And now Sancho's in. That Oli new contract could be announced any time, any day, really. So we'll see what happens there. But it will happen definitely. And it's not being worked. It's not being worked upon. It's already been agreed. I listened to your channel when I truck drive across the US. Love the channel. I hope Pogba stays. We get a trophy, then he can move on after contract ends. Says Man United FC. Yeah, and I just think on Pogba, and also I am wearing a Bruno t-shirt here. I've just looked at the thing myself. Been wearing a lot of our t-shirt designs the last few days because it's hot in the UK. Links in the video description if you want to get one, and we do ship worldwide. So if you want to get one of our many t-shirts, we've got a new Sancho one, we've got Greenwood, we've got Rashford, we've got Bruno, we've got Martial, we've got Give It, we've got all sorts. Links in the video description for those, and very good quality t-shirts as well. I wear them, it's not a different t-shirt every time. They do get washed and they're absolutely fine. There is a watch along later, Nicholas. Yes, there is. I think with Pogba, I just want to ask people, where are people finding Varane news, as Aditya? On the United stand, probably. Yeah, so there you go. Devils58 Red says, Devesh, he doesn't slate him, just doesn't like him playing CDM as he's not one and he's better playing box to box. I presume that's the old Galbridge hates McTominay bullshit. I don't actually hate anybody in my life off camera or on camera. So you're very wrong there. I don't deal in hate. I don't like it. I think it's a very negative term. As a footballer at CDM, I very much dislike Scott McTominay and Fred. Because they can't play that position. But hopefully we'll see McTominay play there today. And if he can't shine as a CDM against QPR, then he's never going to shine. So I'm expecting a good performance from McTominay today, but I don't think he's a CDM. I really don't. When I think of a CDM, I'm thinking of a CDM that can run the game against Liverpool at Anfield, who can run the game against Man City at the Etihad. Things that people like Michael Carrick and Roy Keane and Paul Scholes have done over the years. Running the game against QPR or Watford in the FA Cup, like McTominay has and might do today, I mean, it's a positive, but I still don't think he can do it at the level we need to. It's like Maguire and Lindelof. A lot of people used to say, oh, you never shut up about Maguire and Lindelof, because I'm trying to win a title. I'm not the manager, but my aspiration for United, and Ollie should be, and the owners should be, and the players should be, it's not about finishing in the top four and patting yourself on the back. It's not about celebrating losing the Euros final or the Europa League or coming second in the league. Manchester United is about winning. It's about winning the league. We can't win the league with McFred, and we couldn't win the league with Magaluf. So that's where my opinion always comes from. Any news with the CDM? It's gone quiet. Camavinga, Saul Niguez, Neves. I would put all our eggs in the Ndidi Tillemans basket with the Lingard swap. Says Team of Lives podcast. Don't think Leicester are interested, mate, to be honest, in selling Ndidi or Tillemans. Ollie needs to win a trophy though, no matter what. Pogba will stay the moment he's too good. Also, who do you see having a breakout season? Says Omar. I'll talk about that in a moment. Mark, if Pogba leaves, why don't we look at Tillemans? His long balls are excellent and I think he's the best replacement, says Ken. I like Tillemans. As I said, I just don't think Leicester are looking to sell, and if they were looking to sell, I think they'd announce it very, 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 very soon. Let's have a look. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has signed a new contract with Manchester United. Agreement reached until June 2024. Solskjaer and Manchester United also included an option to extend the agreement until June 2025. Official statement confirms. Okay, so that's that's why. I mean, bloody hell! I literally said it would happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's happened in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So Solskjaer signed a new contract with Manchester United, reached until 2024. And that is done there. Oh, sorry, I'm just replying to somebody here. Which isn't a surprise. I mean, yeah, it's breaking news. It's breaking news. Ollie's just been announced as 17. What I'll probably do is end this video and give him a video of himself. I think it's only right, isn't it? So I'm going to stop the video and then we'll do a video for Ollie's contract because it just seems wrong to have it right in the end of the video. So I will stop the video and do a new video. It seems only the right thing to do. Make sure you smash a like on this video, by the way, and make sure you subscribe. T-shirt links in the video description, and do check out my latest video on Goldbridge Strange Addictions Reacts. I'll be live again in about 10 minutes. I'm just going to set up a new video for Solskjaer. So I'll speak to you in a minute. Thanks for watching.